Hi folks, Andy Fyon here from Rambles with Robin and Ruby. In this video, we continue our hikes to less visited, rocky areas along the shore of Lake Superior to look at the geology and plants that grow on that geology. Today, we hike through part of the Prairie River Mouth Provincial Park along an old gravel road to the shore of Lake Superior to identify if and in what way local geology influences the types and distributions of plants. The area lies along the north shore of Lake Superior, northeast of Slate Islands, and about 30 kilometers or 20 miles east of Terrace Bay, Ontario, Canada. There is an old gravel road that runs from Highway 11 to Lake Superior, as shown on this map image. You can drive at least halfway along this road. We ended up parking at an old gravel pit and walked the last few hundred meters to the lakeshore. We staged this hike out of Nays Provincial Park, where we camped for 2 nights. We then drove to Prairie River Mouth Provincial Park, which is an unserviced nature reserve, so there's no camping, no facilities. Join us as we explore the rocky shore of Lake Superior in Prairie River Mouth Provincial Park, where I shall share some geology and plants that I see. Enjoy! For us, the drive ended when we ran into a segment of the gravel road that was overgrown by alders. We backed up, parked in the old gravel pit area, and walked the rest of the road to Lake Superior. It is Tuesday, June 10, and we are west of Nays Provincial Park. We're walking down a road on the west side of Prairie River Mouth Provincial Park, which is a regulated park but no services, and we're trying to get to the shore of Lake Superior. We're driven as far as we can go, which is nice. We're now walking along this lovely old access road. There's gravel pits where we have stopped. It's still foggy, quite chilly. It was +4 this morning. Whoop, and I hear a dog off to the left, so there's at least one other vehicle here. Anyway, we'll update you as we make our way down towards the lake. Hopefully. Well, we're always worried when the road starts getting aldery, which is what we see here. The alders are encroaching on the road. Oh, there's another road. Very cool lichen on these balsam and spruce, and we're getting close to the lake. Temperature is really dropping. It's very cold. Some very big moose tracks on the road. You can see that the dew claws here, so that's my foot beside it. That's about the size of my foot. Well, we're at Lake Superior. I don't see a house, but certainly there are a number of boats here. So, not sure what the story is, but what we're looking for is on the left here. I wanted to see some headlands of rock so we can see if there's any Arctic disjunct plants here, so we'll have a look. Okay, so we'll just give an overview and then I'll start taking some photos in detail. This is basalt. We've seen in crusted saxifrage. There's some white flowers up there that I will have a look at. There are ferns. Haven't seen any liverwort yet. May not. But example of some of the ferns. I hesitate. And it's the green color tells you it's a basalt. It's the encrusted saxifrage, lots of it right at this point. They're actually putting out flower stems. Not in bloom yet, but it's getting ready. There's a massive clump here of encrusted saxifrage. And some little ones here. Dwarf red raspberry. Our next stop was the basalt shore, which formed the west side of the cove, just to the left of Libby, hidden in the fog. So we've just climbed up onto the headland, and we're going to try and make our way over towards the lake itself. I'm going to be a little bit careful because it is a bit slippery. The substrate here still looks like basalt. Some serviceberry. Lots of blueberries. What we want to do is get over there. This seems to be the typical foggy weather along the north shore of Lake Superior, especially in the spring. It was very quiet. It was very chilly. The water temperature was less than 5 degrees Celsius, or about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but it was very beautiful. So we're just on the edge of this headland, and there are certainly encrusted saxifrage. There's also perhaps a plant that's called arabis. It has a rosette of leaves at the base and white 4 petals. See if I can get down and get you a copy of one. It's a bit precarious. There was rain last night, so it's quite wet. Have to watch where you step so you don't step on the encrusted saxifrage. This one's in bud. And there's another one there. The substrate here is sheared basalt. Don't really want to go for a swim right now. So here is a pair of the white flower that could be an arabis. Basal rosette, alternate leaves up the stem, and nice white flowers. And then snuck in behind it is the encrusted saxifrage, which I see there's 2 or 3 in flower right now. And there are probably tens of them along this edge, all in this you can see, very platy fabric. That's what geologists term pages in a book of this basalt, with common juniper and shrubby cinquefoil. So as we walk along, there's some encrusted saxifrage there. There's some in there in that crack, some in that crack, more there. So a little bit of protection is really all that it needs. You have the right substrate and cold ambient temperature. Again, another example of the encrusted saxifrage that's just about in bloom. There are many, many along this headland with the sheared basalt. And for context, that's Lake Superior. Again, it's a bit cliffy. Sometimes if you look along the edge of these headlands, you get a sense of just how platy the rock is. When I say platy, it almost looks like there's sheets of basalt, and that's because it's been highly deformed, highly strained. And it seems to enhance this habitat for encrusted saxifrage and other Arctic disjuncts. So this is a good example of the basalt. There's actually pillow selvages, so but the outside of the pillow that froze quickly underwater leaves a special mark here, courtesy of the beaver. Right, so this dark green line in here is the edge of the pillow. There's lots of them in here, so that tells us that this was a basalt lava that was extruded onto the ocean floor beneath water at the bottom of the ocean. It was ocean floor. And then there's some quite neat little, almost sort of incipient potholes, probably created by a similar process. There you have some little pebbles inside. And as you go up away from the shore, this is cleaned probably annually by ice and waves. Color of the basalt changes until you get on the surface that's weathered and covered in lichen. It's pretty difficult to say what it is. You have to have a sharp eye to see it. And I see some grooves here, glacial grooves. Nice one through here with water, and so those are either created by the glacier itself grinding the rock away, or by high pressure water at the base of the glacier ice sheet. And there's some pistachio green colored material, which is the mineral epidote. Some people use it to make semi-precious gems out of. And there's a little tiny beach in this cove. So we're going to start heading back up. But this was quite an exciting one. And another geology feature here. We're about, I'm guessing, 3-4 meters from the present lake level, and there's quite a good cobble beach, raised beach. So this was a beach that formed when Lake Superior level was quite a bit higher, well, certainly a little higher than it is today. And I'll just follow along it. They call it raised because it's raised above the present shore of Lake Superior. There's quite a good example of this type of beach at Montreal River, just where it intersects Highway 17. Walking on the former shore of Lake Superior. Another one up there that's a little higher, just a little higher, maybe half a meter higher than the one I'm walking on. Quite cool. Have to find a way out. So we'll go up to the next raised beach and follow along it. And then we kind of run out and we get into the mossy fairy forest. With this very cool lichen hanging from the trees. quite neat. So we're going to wrap this one up. This is the cove, I believe, at the Prairie River mouth Provincial Park. The mouth of that river is actually to the left of us, but we came down here to have a look at the headlands, which we did. A number of interesting flora, which I will summarize at the end. But yes, encrusted saxifrage, a wiry plant, a white plant, another arabesque, maybe Drummonds. Anyway, there's lots here. It is foggy, it is still cold, but it was well worth the exercise to try and get in here, just to have a look at the basalt and to see what native flora the basalt supported right against Lake Superior. So that's a wrap for this one. Most enjoyable. And that's it.